Now, over the weekend, it was the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame induction ceremony that took place on Saturday. I have a couple of little tidbits to tell you about. I'm not going to ruin the whole thing for you, obviously. But it was filmed. It is being edited. It always takes a month or so, and then HBO winds up putting it out on television. Usually it's like a 5 or 6 hour performance, and it gets cut down to 3 hours. I watch it every single year. Even if I love the band that's going in or not, I still tend to watch it. I do enjoy it. I think we've had a couple of good ones the last couple of years. I'm not one of these people that's like, it's not rock and roll. Look, it's not fair. It's imperfect. I disagree with a whole bunch of the things. I think there are definitely some artists that should be in that are not already. But I love music, and it's fun to talk about, who gets in and who doesn't. I can argue about this just as much as I could argue about the baseball or the hockey Hall of Fame, which is all subjective anyway. So let's get into some of the highlights that we have for you here, reported by WEHM.com. The ceremony apparently opened up. I can't wait to see this when it hits HBO, with the Killers performing Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers' American Girl, just to honor Tom Petty, who died last year. Ann Wilson of Heart teamed up with Jerry Cantrell to perform Soundgarden's Black Hole Sun, which I'm really, really excited to see, in honor of Chris Cornell. I don't know if anything was done for Chester Bennington. I'm not sure. Perhaps maybe they'll wait till the following year. But I know, I can't remember, maybe it was Glenn Fry? Oh, I can't remember now. But I know the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame caught some heat for not paying tribute to those who have lost. So it looks like they've paid a little bit of special attention here with two big tributes on this show. Bon Jovi was the first to be inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Howard Stern had the honors and even sang a little bit of Wanted Dead or Alive. Bon Jovi took the stage for a 20-minute speech acknowledging how many years the band had been waiting for the honor. He went on to say a whole bunch of things, even cursing, things that I cannot repeat on the air here. But he did say, and I quote, "To all the fans who supported this band, we share this honor with you because this life is a gift." So that was cool. If you don't want to hear who what songs Bon Jovi performed, then skip this part of the show. You Give Love a Bad Name, It's My Life, Living on a Prayer, and their new single, When We Were Us. Dire Straits were next. They inducted themselves, which I thought was pretty interesting. No performance because Mark Knopfler didn't show up. His brother Dave also didn't show up. The dispute that Dave had was they wouldn't pay for his hotel or airfare or something. I don't know. Again, we talked about this earlier on the morning show with Anthony. I blame the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame for being cheap and stupid. And I blame also Dave Knopfler for not recognizing, and I really blame Mark Knopfler for this, for not recognizing how important this stuff is to the fans. Again, Radiohead doesn't want to go. They don't want to be inducted. All that punk rock stuff, it's cool and for whatever it is, but I'm a huge fan of music, and when one of my favorite bands goes in, I love it, and I watch every bit of it, and I want to hear the speech, and I want to see the performance, and I want to be a part of it. After all, I have been for buying albums and going to shows after all these years. This is a little bit of a culmination. I think this is more for the fans than it is the actual bands themselves. And it's more for the band's mom and dad and sister and brother and cousin and all the sacrifices that are made to get these artists to this point. I think that's why everybody should go. But I respect those who want to pretend to be cooler than they actually are. Alabama Shakes singer Brittany Howard paid tribute to Sister Rosetta Tharpe, the late gospel and electric blues guitar pioneer who was an influence on what later became rock and roll. Howard performed That's All and Strange Things Happen Every Day with Paul Schaefer on piano. Brandon Flowers of the Killers came back to induct the Cars. Rick Ocasek in his speech thanked his grandmother for making him sing when he was 5 years old. Back to my point that it's all about the families and everything else. The band performed Moving in Stereo, My Best Friend's Girl, You Might Think, Just What I Needed, with Ocasek singing lead, and later in the song, in place of the band's late bass player Benjamin Orr, Weezer's Scott Schreiner joined the band on bass for the set. Nina Simone was inducted by Mary J. Blige. Simone's brother, Dr. Samuel Wayan, accepted the honor on her behalf, but then warned that any artist who wanted to pay tribute to Simone by sampling her songs had better pay for the privilege. Sentimental. I love it. Andra Day, backed by The Roots, performed I Put a Spell on You, and I Wish I Knew How It Would Feel to Be Free, while Lauryn Hill sang I Ain't Got No Life, and one of Simone's best-known songs, Feeling Good. Cannot wait to see that. The collabs, too, is also, should be pointed out, some of the best parts of the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame induction ceremony. And again, we're going to go through all this when it plays on HBO, and we'll have some clips for you and some fun stuff to check out. Little Steven Van Zandt took the stage to introduce a new Rock Hall category called the Hall of Fame Singles, which serves to honor influential individual tracks. Among the first inductees into this category was Rocket 88 by Jackie Brenston and his Delta Cats. Let's see here. The evening concluded with the induction of the Moody Blues by Hartz and Wilson. The Moody Blues are not cool or ironic. They are not construct, she said. There is a beautiful, approachable honesty about the poetry and the natural intelligence in the music. The Moody Blues performed I'm Just a Singer in a Rock and Roll Band, Your Wildest Dreams, Nights in White Satin, and Ride My Seesaw. Unlike previous induction ceremonies, no All-Star Jam at the end. Stinks. HBO will feature an edited version of the festivities that will premiere on May 5th. So that's all the information that we have for you right now about the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame induction ceremony 2018. Again, once we get it up on HBO and we get to actually watch it and see it, we'll have some clips and some highlights for you right here on The Morning Show with Anthony.